Hey, so I thought I would do a quick video tonight because I have been taking way too long. So thanks for your patience. It's been pretty nuts. So this video is actually on the idea of humor, and it's just going to be a quick one, but it's actually inspired by Wild Trapper 46. So thank you for that. And they make a mention about, say, when someone's trying to tell a joke and it's a standard joke that everyone else just absolutely dies when the punchline lands, and everyone else laughs except for them. And they go ahead and laugh at something that's not meant to be funny, but the others don't. They kind of look at them and they wonder what the heck is going on, about why you think something else is funny, because it's just a little off. It's just like you're just off a beat because your thoughts. So speaking to from an INTJ perspective, I appreciate what that Wild Trapper 46 is mentioning, because it's just the beat off from everyone else doing the collective laugh that all of a sudden your laugh, they know, is not coming from the standardized response for the regular joke at hand. So basically, it's something that everyone else thinks is funny, the standard joke, but yet from almost the observer point of view, you're looking at context, you're looking at the individual, and you're trying to make sense of the entire observed scene. And from that, also bringing in the delivery that is going on with regards to the actual subject matter. And you're laughing at the entire context. And so that comment resonated with me. So again, thanks so much for everybody's comments in there. And as always, make sure to add comments and video requests. But it spoke to me because I actually definitely have personal experiences with this on many occasions, but lots recently. So again, this is just my perspective as an INTJ female. Love to hear other people's comments on this. However, a very good, our close person in my life, the way they deliver jokes, standard jokes, is brutal. Like, it's not a funny joke. There is nothing funny. There's no punchline. You're not waiting. Like, it is basically a dad joke that died and has been trampled on, and yet they're delivering it to you. And so you're thinking as a receiver, wait, does that guy think it's funny? Or is that guy being dry? Because it's all about the delivery. So INTJ, at least for myself, I'm looking for context. I'm looking for the larger picture and what's happening, especially if I don't know that person that well. And you're looking to see every piece and snippet in the environment around you, as well as the person that you are hearing this from, in order to make sense of what information is being sent to you. So obviously, in my personal experience anyways, with this particular person, I consider this person highly intelligent. He is someone that has interesting insights and has watches slapstick, so he would be with that, as well as he enjoys dry humor, but he also is serious. But most often, people in that kind of mindset don't, deliver jokes that are boring and basic. So you're trying to look for an underlayer that goes with it. And so for myself personally, I found myself like Wild Trapper 46, where all of those different senses come into the context of trying to make sense of why this person is, taking the time to execute a joke that shouldn't even be executed. And it comes up way funnier. And it reminds me of the Seinfeld episodes where they can make entire episodes on one joke, just drawing out the absurdity that goes into observing things and observing and the all through all the senses and contexting and morphing it and coming out with actually something that is way funnier. So in my context with this individual, I will I will cry laughing. I should not be saying that. And they'll look at me like I've grown a third arm. And I'm like, you are hilarious. That was so funny. And they're like, I wasn't being funny. And then you think it's continuing the joke where it's like, oh, they're just being dry. And they're trying to like hang on to the joke and stay deadpan. So you're laughing even harder. Only to find out that there is an 80% chance that that person wasn't delivering the joke the way you took it, and your observation took you to a place that made you feel happy. Your endorphins went because you're laughing, you engaged with that person, but it was so opposite of what they wanted. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, is it actually uncomfortable, where if you insulted someone where they think that you're laughing at them as opposed to laughing with them at the appropriate time with the joke. And so again, if you are a dry humor, you could carry that continuously forward until you finally allowed relief, saying, yeah, I was joking. But that's the scary thing. So as an INTJ, if you're not like, you're looking for bigger substance or whatever, you're thinking that this person is a well of deep insight and that type of thing, therefore they would never deliver a joke that is basic, you're really running the risk of insulting a person because you're thinking so highly of them and what they could deliver that when you see something, you better hope to God that is actually what they're trying to do, because otherwise you could really unintentionally insult someone. And I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on this, because I think humor, especially in this day and age where we're all very disconnected, all of us are trying to synthesize life back together, where we make connections and they've been broken, and depending on where you're at in life, you haven't formed the tools to be able to rebuild properly. And humor is such a great bridge for so many things. But at the same time, when everyone is on edge about trying to make those bridges or understanding how, after something so catastrophic that's happened to people in social gatherings has happened, you are really fragile on both the receiver and the deliverer side. That I think that it is scary that humor has to be so carefully managed when that is really a salve for so many ways of making sense of people. So I guess what I'm trying to get at the very end of all this, and I just really thought this was an interesting comment that was brought up, that during this time when we really need humor and we really are raw on every individual. So if someone is being humble enough to deliver a joke, or feeling comfortable enough to break that gap of vulnerability and give it to the receiver, I think there's two sides to this, where the receiver has to be receptive and kind in the delivery, and maybe instead of being like, okay, taking a pause, giving that polite full reception, and then go into thinking about actually what was making it absolutely priceless and should be bought for $100,000 by someone like a Seinfeld because of the execution, unwittingly, probably, where you could also share that after as well. Because that's maybe the bridge that we need. We need to have more explanation, more communication, more understanding of what the other person is thinking, because human interaction now is still trying to be toddling back into what we took for granted maybe 30 years ago. So this is an opportunity to maybe find, as an INTJ, the light in it and enjoyment, but also the sharing of where you're coming from, and also making sure that if it's a clean joke that you are ethically okay with it, make sure that you're giving the benefit of the doubt on the delivery of it before we go right into the potential awkwardness that comes with the interpretation of the not intellectualization, I shouldn't say, more the observation and multifaceted that makes a lot of people want to go to, fall asleep. And for us, that's where our brain went when all they cared about was the punchline. But it's a way of continuing that conversation. So love to hear other people's comments, especially on humor. If there's anything else that you find as an INTJ or as a person that is interested in INTJ topics, love to hear video requests on humor, because I think there is some really good stuff that we can encourage on the positive side regarding this kind of topic in this period of time. So anyways, thanks so much as always. And yes, love to hear your comments. And I love the community that is part of this. And hopefully I'll become more regular in posting videos. Thanks so much.